Here's a curveball. What do coffee, algebra, and modern hospitals have in common? Nope, not Silicon Valley. Try the Islamic Golden Age. Today we are rediving into a time when Europe was still leeching people to balance their humors. The Islamic world was out here building hospitals, writing surgical textbooks, and treating mental illness with music therapy. Yeah, you heard that right. Smash that like button if you're into history that actually blows your mind, and hit subscribe if you want more stories from the wild. It's brilliant and sometimes bloody world of ancient medicine. Let's set the scene. It's the 8th century. While most of Europe is deep in the Dark Ages, the Islamic world is in full globe mode, culturally, scientifically, intellectually. At the center of it all, Baghdad. No, not war-torn Baghdad like in modern headlines. This was the House of Wisdom Baghdad, where knowledge from Greece, Rome, Persia, India, and China was translated, preserved, and improved. Yeah, while Europe was burning books, these guys were building libraries, pharmacies, and hospitals with wards, quarantine zones, and medical licensing exams. Like real ones? Pass the test, or no scalpel for you. Let's talk MVPs. First up, Orazio Reyes, if you're reading a medieval Latin manuscript. He was a Persian physician who basically invented differential diagnosis, the idea of figuring out what disease you actually have instead of just guessing and praying. He was also the first to distinguish smallpox from measles, and wrote one of the first books on pediatrics and mental health. Then there's Ibn Sina, Avicenna, the real rock star. His book, The Canon of Medicine, was so good, it became the medical textbook in Europe for 600 years. Let that sink in. He wrote about anatomy, pharmacology, contagious diseases, and even how emotions affect health. Basically, the dude was WebMD before the internet, but accurate. Think ancient medicine was all guesswork and goat guts? Think again. Islamic physicians were performing cataract surgeries with fine needles. They created inhalation therapies, used mercury ointments, and cataloged over 2,000 drugs from herbs and minerals to animal byproducts.
Ooh.
But impressive. And it wasn't just the Meds al-Zahrawi, another legend, wrote a 30-volume encyclopedia on surgery that included detailed instructions on procedures, surgical tools, and even how to treat dislocated shoulders. Dude basically invented surgical instruments we still use today. Scalpels, forceps, bone saws, they had it all, and they were made of steel, not sharpened rocks. Get this, Islamic medicine didn't just treat the body, they treated the mind. In cities like Cairo and Damascus, they had psychiatric wards, gardens, music therapy, and even occupational therapy. They treated mental illness as a legitimate medical condition, not demonic possession. While some cultures were burning witches, these scholars were saying, maybe he's just depressed. Let's give him some poetry and clean sheets. Honestly, we could use more of that energy today. And the hospital system, absolutely revolutionary. Hospitals called Bimaristans were free, open to men and women, staffed with trained physicians, and included pharmacies, libraries, and lecture halls. Some even had night shifts. Yeah, the Islamic Golden Age basically invented modern healthcare infrastructure 1,000 years ago. So here's the kicker. When you go to a hospital today or take a prescription drug or even get diagnosed properly, a lot of that traces back to the work of scholars from the Islamic world during the so-called Golden Age. And yet you probably never learned any of this in school. Wild, right? Which invention from the Islamic Golden Age blew your mind the most? Was it the surgery tools, the mental health treatment, or the idea of hospitals being free and open to everyone? And if you learned something that surprised you today, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who needs to know ancient medicine. Wasn't tea just bloodletting and beard oil? Thanks for watching, and remember, history doesn't just repeat itself sometimes. It heals you.